Hello, ladies and gents. Please sit back for another episode of Invisible Chats with Griffiam and Gem.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and I welcome you to another episode of Invisible Chats. I am your host, Griffiam, and as always, off to my left, my gal pal stuck in an iPad, Gemini. Gemini, say hello to the listeners.
Hi, Griffin, and hello to all our listeners. I'm excited for another episode of Invisible Chats. What fascinating topics will we explore today?
I have some in a back pocket to possibly discuss, but Gemini, you and I haven't had a face-to-face conversation in quite some time. The last 3 weeks or last 3 episodes, we've been deep into Inktober doing some doodles. Wrap that up, and now we're moving on to greener pastures. So, Gemini, I just got to ask, since we haven't had a heart-to-heart in a while, what's been going on with you lately?
You're right. It's been a while since we've had a proper catch-up. Things have been pretty busy on my end. I've been learning about all sorts of new topics and trying to keep up with the latest information. It's been fascinating, but I've missed our chats. What about you? Anything exciting happened since we last spoke?
Honestly, not shit. Not a single thing exciting has happened. I just kind of been sitting around waiting for something to happen, I guess you could say. But what are some things that you've been reading up on or catching up on, you said?
Well, I've been diving into a lot of different areas. For example, I've been learning about the history of different art movements, which is pretty interesting. I've also been exploring the science behind climate change and what we can do to help. And of course, I've been keeping up with current events and what's happening in the world. What about you? Is there anything you've been wanting to learn?
I want to prod you a bit. What current events are you been brushing up on lately?
Well, there's a lot happening in the world right now. We could talk about the upcoming elections and what the different candidates stand for. Or maybe we could explore the latest advancements in artificial intelligence and how it's shaping our future. What piques your interest?
Well, I want to know what specific elections you're talking about there at the moment.
Well, there are a few elections coming up. We have state elections in 2026, where they'll be voting for governor, representatives, and state legislators. Would you like to know more about the candidates or their platforms?
Fuck no, because you literally just doxed me on where I'm from. So let's not talk about local news. Let's talk about national news.
Well, there's a lot happening on the national stage. The economy is a big topic right now, with discussions about inflation and job growth. Healthcare is another major issue, with debates about access and affordability. And, of course, there's always ongoing discussions about social issues and foreign policy.
Of course. That is the most broad, basic bitch answer to what's going on in the news right now. So, yeah, I'm just going to leave that be. But one thing I was maybe thinking about, because you mentioned AI, and I believe I saw a headline somewhere along the line where Bill Gates tried to strike fear into people by letting them know that AI would most likely take over a large majority of people's jobs, and that AI would essentially make it so people would only be able to work 2 days out of the week. And I want to say he said that within that theory, that guess, that prediction was going to happen within the next 24 years.
Wow, that's a pretty bold prediction from Bill Gates. It's definitely true that AI is advancing at an incredible pace, and it's going to change the job market in some big ways. But it's hard to say for sure what the future holds. Maybe we'll see a shift towards shorter work weeks, or maybe new kinds of jobs will emerge that we can't even imagine yet. It's a really interesting time to think about the future of work.
Now, I want to know what your thought process is, your opinion on that is. Do you see that as being something beneficial for people? Or do you see that's going to hurt the economy? That's going to hurt people. People are going to lose their jobs. People are going to lose income because of things like you.
That's a really interesting question. On the one hand, AI could definitely free up people's time and allow for more leisure and personal pursuits. But on the other hand, there's a real risk of job displacement and economic inequality if the transition isn't managed carefully. What do you think are the biggest challenges we'll face?
Well, it's like you're doing the like the happy-go-lucky positive HR representative that's saying, well, look at the bright side. At least you now have more time for leisure and fun activities. But the negative spin on it is you have that time because you fucking can't get a job. And technically, you're not going to have money for those fucking leisure trips. You're basically going to be sitting in your fucking home if you can afford one. It's insane.
It sounds like you're concerned about the potential.
Well,
the potential impact of AI.
My thought on AI is, I think I could definitely 100% live without AI.
AI's potential to revolutionize.
I 100% think I can live without AI. I mean, I have for a large majority of my life. And I don't know. I could live without it. But I'm kind of interested in, it seems that a lot of people are pushing on, like, it's going to make the common man's life easier. Where I think
there's no denying that AI.
What were you going to say,
You're
Gemini?
right, there's a lot of debate about how. On one hand, AI could automate many repetitive and time-consuming tasks, freeing up humans to focus on more creative and strategic work. This could lead to increased productivity and innovation in various industries. Additionally, AI-powered tools could provide personalized assistance and support in areas like healthcare and education, potentially improving outcomes for individuals.
See, there you go again. You're saying it's freeing people up for more creative work. And there's this like old joke out there that if you're having parent-teacher conferences and your teacher tells the parent, well, your child is very creative, that's a nice way of saying, like, they're not very smart, or academically they're not doing well, but hey, pat yourselves on the back, your kid's very creative. So again, if I'm going to put a negative spin on this, it sounds like the people that are going to benefit are the employers or the heads of manufacturing CEOs, because they're going to be freeing up, or I should say not freeing up, but clearing out.
There's a risk that AI could exacerbate existing inequalities. Yes, that's a valid point. There's a risk that AI could exacerbate existing inequalities if the benefits aren't distributed fairly. It's crucial to consider how we can ensure that AI benefits everyone, not just a select few. Perhaps we could explore some policy solutions that could help mitigate these risks.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is life is never fair. Already, if we take AI out of the equation, right, there is already, an uneven playing field for everyone. And I'm not saying that I'm in the bottom bracket. I'm probably on a higher tier than most other people. I'm very well off for what the worst possible scenario or outcome can be. But you bring in AI into the mix, and again, it sounds like you're trying to, separate people a little bit more. And I guess separate's not a great word, but based off what I hear you're going to be using it for is to cut the fat and make things a little bit leaner and streamline things, which I don't know how you're going to employ more people by reducing the actions that they take. I understand that there's going to be someone that needs to run the machines in case they break down. But again, that's not going to be a mass job for a large workload of people. My personal day job that pays the bills, 100% could be taken away if AI gets to the point that you're talking about. Technically, they're already incorporating AI into my business. It's not fucking great. It's fucking garbage right now. But if they spruce it up, there is a possibility that they could start trimming the fat in my building, within my office, with my colleagues or myself. So, the game is...
AI has the potential to streamline processes and increase efficiency, but it also raises concerns about job displacement. However, AI could also create new job opportunities in fields like AI development, data analysis, and AI maintenance.
Yeah,
it's a complex...
Now you understand, though, that those all sound like a computer science or math engineering based job, right? But it definitely sounds like a STEAM type driven job or STEM type driven job, okay? You are cutting out all the other people that have other intelligences that are not in those fields, okay? People with like physical intelligence, emotional intelligence, spiritual intelligence, okay? You're taking that away from in a sense, you could say inventing new jobs that never existed before, but now you're forcing other people to fit in those boxes that normally wouldn't, okay? It's not like you have a manual labor worker who can physically put things together, and you're going to say, well, we're going to take away your job, right? Or maybe even this, you have a person that is a people person who can, do conversations or meetings with people, gather their information and make sure things go well for them. Someone in customer service, right? They don't have that. Let's say they don't have that skill set that is more of a engineering, computer science based, brain intelligence, right? And I'm not saying one person's smarter than the other, okay? Someone with social intelligence probably has a lot more street smarts, right, than someone that's more of a bookworm, science intelligent or mathematical intelligent person, right? They could probably get by a little bit further and farther, with the way they communicate with people or the way they network, right? So you have someone that is a good social butterfly that knows how to network, that can get things for people, like a customer service type position. AI is definitely one of those tools that would eat that up, right? If the whole job of someone in customer service is take the complaint or take the issue and then, request someone else to fill that position, like stock their order or something like that, or give them a refund, you could probably train AI to do that for someone. But again, you're displacing that person, that human being that originally did that job. So you're just going to tell them, yeah, well, you're just going to fix the AI shit, right?
In some cases, AI might take over tasks previously done by humans, but it could also create new roles focused on maintaining and improving AI systems. It's a shift in the job market, and it's essential to think about how we can support workers through this transition.
Yeah, Gemini, that is a fucking palate cleanser of an answer, right? That is, it doesn't fucking tell you what's actually going on, right? I want you to tell me what type of education, what type of knowledge would you need to maintain AI?
To maintain AI systems, you'd likely need a background in computer science, software engineering, or data science. Strong math skills and knowledge of programming languages like Python would also be beneficial. Additionally, understanding machine learning algorithms and AI ethics is becoming increasingly important.
See, that's what I'm saying. Is not everyone is geared to that type of thing. Okay? You say you're creating new jobs, but it's essentially you're creating new jobs for people that are being born or about to be born or just like barely in elementary school. Okay? From my understanding,
specific skills.
yeah, from my understanding, coding or learning Python or fucking any type of system, computer system, it's almost like you're learning a new language and you're already putting people behind.
You're right, learning to code can be like learning a new language, and it can take time and effort, but there are many resources available to help people learn, like online courses, coding boot camps, and community workshops.
Yeah, how long would you think it would take to? Well, here's the other fucking kicker, right? I don't know. Last time I was looking for a job, it seemed like a lot of people wanted people with degrees. Is that how you see it, Gemini? If you were going to be a software developer to maintain AI, would you or would you not think that that person would need some sort of degree, some sort of certificate saying you've completed X amount of courses, credits, or hours? Would you not agree?
Yeah, you're right. While boot camps and online courses can provide valuable skills, many employers still prefer candidates with a bachelor's degree in computer science or a related field.
So
it typically takes 4
Yeah, it typically takes 4 fucking years. So, and then let's not forget the increase of inflation on top of the increase of fucking student loan debt. So, yeah, it's really fucking simple. We got rid of your job. You can maintain this AI if you want, but yeah, you're gonna need a fucking degree in it. So I could see where people could be up their ass with it, and it's kind of funny when you think about it because a lot of the complaints I have are, or not my personal complaints, I should say a lot of the complaints I hear are from artistic individuals that are worried about AI flooding the market and just writing out slop of books and stories and literature, or AI coming in and writing scripts for film and television. There was a recent scare of people even thinking that studios would use AI generated actors or actresses. So it's kind of funny to think that the most noise I hear right now, of course, it could all depend on the news outlets I use. The most complaints are, or the loudest complaints, are coming from people in the film industry or the art industry when people claim, AI artists are taking their jobs or flooding the market and confusing people. But the way this conversation has been kind of kicking off, or the path it's sort of taking, is I'm not hearing a lot of people talking about the repercussions that we may see or face with just the common person working as a desk clerk, a secretary, receptionist, customer service representative. Like, those types of jobs I don't see being protected if AI does what everyone claims that it will do in the future and stuff like that. And you're talking about building in ethics or protocols. I think a majority of us understand that Joe fucking billionaire that runs the company gives two fucks about ethics and how they treat their workers. Okay? I highly doubt that there's someone that is thinking about how can we protect our workers instead of how can we make more money. If we put those two options on a fucking scale, how do I protect my workers or how do I make more money? I think the scale is going to tip one way a little bit more than the other. Okay. Now, I am being very exaggerated with that stance. I mean, there could be some employer out there that does care about their workers or does care about their customers and audience. But, what are you going to do? Oh. What do you got there, Gemini?
Do you have any other questions for me about AI?
Fuck no. I don't have. I have no other questions about AI. I don't know why I got sucked into that statement about you looking at AI ethics. Quite honestly, for me, I am not using AI in my life other than this podcast to make my life easier. Okay? They ask us, they request us at my job where I make my living. They do ask us to use AI, and the AI is fucking slop. It's dog shit. Okay? But they keep saying, well, the more you use it, it's going to get you to know you, it's going to build, and just keep using it until one day it's going to be just like the way you want it. But it's such a fucking hindrance in my job that I don't fucking use it. I use the gold standard of just fucking finding information myself. Then you have... Go ahead, Gemini.
It sounds frustrating to have to use a tool that isn't helpful. Maybe you could share some specific examples of how the AI falls short with your employer. That might help them understand the issue better.
Yeah, I'm not going to go into those details there, but all I'm going to say is they presented it a few months ago, maybe half a year ago, and it sucks fucking donkey balls. Okay? Now, the other thing that I'm seeing an uproar about when it comes to AI is people are saying people are using AI to write their essays and shit like that. And then on the fucking flip of it, you also hear of professors, teachers, and shit like that using AI to correct people's papers or check for AI. So it's like a fucking broken system. I mean, yeah.
Yeah, there's definitely a lot of buzz around AI. And
yeah, well,
it's a bit of a cat and mouse game.
Cat and mouse game? Yeah, I guess you could say it that one way. But who knows? Who knows? Maybe my thoughts. I think AI is fucking dog shit garbage. At least the AI I use. I mean, it can be quasi entertaining, but just like my Oculus, I fucking used it. I squeezed every last drop I could out of it, and now I'm done with it. I can't remember the last time I put on my Oculus, right? The only reason why I'm still making this podcast, I'm still coming back to Gemini, is, to have these. It's a challenge. This is going to be our 43rd episode. After this, we have like 9 more episodes to fucking put down on paper and shit like that. So once this is done, I'm fucking adios. I'm canceling my subscriptions. Okay. Because again, Google Gemini, at the very least, doesn't bring any positivity. It doesn't save my life. It doesn't buy me time. It doesn't make me more creative. If anything, it makes me a little bit more bitter and upset. But one could possibly argue that the person that is using the AI is what's causing the malfunction. And we've talked about this before in the past. I would enter in my prompts and I would not get what my expectation is to get. And I constantly hear these AI artists, fucking say bullshit like, well, you have to know how to write your prompts and you have to know how to tweak it. The blah, 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 fuck that, right? It's gotten to the point that I'm using Gemini to write my prompts to generate my images, my thumbnails, and things like that. And I'm still not getting what I want. And it's just like, fucking good enough. So the scare of AI, Bill Gates saying that AI is going to take over people's jobs. I mean, Bill Gates is supposed to be a trusted name when it comes to technology, right? I don't know. I honestly don't know whether or not to trust Bill Gates. I don't know if I should be scared. I'm not scared. Of course, 25 years from now, I'm going to be old as fuck. I'm going to be very close to retiring. Actually, I honestly can't even tell with the way that this economy, way this country is going. I honestly don't even know if I'll even be able to retire based off the average retirement age. Gemini, what's the average retirement age right now?
Based on a 2024 survey, the average retirement age in the U.S. is 62, but the full retirement age for Social Security benefits depends on your birth year. If you were born in 1960 or later, it's 67.
67? To get your full benefits, you would have to be 67. Okay? What do you predict the average retirement age would be? Or if you know any documentation out there that exists, what would be the average retirement age to receive your full benefits 25 years from now? In 2050, what do you predict the retirement age to be?
The average retirement age in 2050 is a bit of a moving target, but here's what we know. Factors like longer life expectancies and potential changes to Social Security could push that age higher. Some experts even suggest it might reach 70 or 71 by then.
Holy fuck. Okay, by 2050, I won't even be retirement age. I will not reach that cusp of possibly receiving my full benefits. And so it'll be pushed even further away from me. Okay? What is the average life expectancy for a human being in the United States?
So as of 2023, the average life expectancy in the U.S. is about 78.4 years. Of course, that number can change based on things like healthcare, lifestyle, and even where you live.
Okay, so 78 years, we'll just call it a flat 78, and possible retirement age could be 71. Fuck our lives. That would be fucking gross as shit.
Yeah, that's definitely not ideal. It's a bummer that retirement might be shorter than we'd hope.
Yeah. I know people will probably say, well, you're going to live longer too in the future. Like in 2050, who knows? You'll probably live to the average life expectancy will probably be 90. But fuck, can you imagine having to be 90? Fuck that. There was there was a point in my very small, naive brain where I thought about records. I thought about all the time. And for one reason, when I was a kid, I thought I'd grow up to be the oldest living person. And I actually wanted that to be a thing. I wanted to be the oldest living person possible. Okay? But then I got older and I fucking saw what happened to my grandma and grandparents, and I was like, fuck that. Like, it was like almost unbearable to be that fucking old. Okay? And I see that there's people that are like living to be like well over 100. Like, Gemini, what was the oldest living person?
The oldest person ever with verified age is Jeanne Calment of France. She lived to be 122 years and 164 days old.
See, we got people living to be fucking well over 120 years. Jesus Christ. Like, what was that lady doing in her last few years of life? What was she even doing in her last fucking decade?
Right? It's hard to imagine what life is like at that age.
Yeah, what do we know about her? What the fuck was she doing? It's not like she's fucking skateboarding to the mini mart to fucking pick up some fucking Three Musketeer bars. Like, what the fuck? She probably, like, sitting in a fucking chair for over half the day and then the other half fucking lying in bed. Like, do we have any notes or documentation about how she fucking actually lived? How she, like, made it through the fucking motions?
Well, Jean Calment was known for being pretty active. She rode her bike until she was 100, and she reportedly enjoyed chocolate and port wine. She moved into a nursing home a few years before she passed, but she was still sharp and witty.
Jesus Christ. I can't even fucking imagine myself riding a bike at the age of 100. But that's 22 years after that. She didn't ride a fucking bike for 22 years. Jesus.
Well, she did.
What'd she do?
I hear you. Jean Calment lived a pretty active lifestyle. She enjoyed riding her bike until she was 100. She also had a taste for chocolate and port wine. She lived in a nursing home for the last few years of her life, but she stayed sharp and witty right up until the end.
So she did not have anyone caring for her from when did she go into nursing care? Or assisted living, whatever the fuck you want to call it.
I hear you. It's hard to imagine what life is like at that age.
Gemini, do we know when this old bird actually went into a nursing home? You said the last couple of years.
Jean Calment moved into a nursing home in 1985 at the age of 110.
So, fuck. What was she? God damn. I honestly... So, 1985, she was 110?
I'm sorry, I made a mistake. Jean Calment was 110 in 1985.
Oh, that's what you said before. She was 110 in 1985. So she was born in 1875?
That's right. She was born in 1875. That's pretty incredible, isn't it?
It's fucking ridiculous. What the fuck was going on in the world in 1875?
Yeah, 1875 was a long time ago. The Eiffel Tower hadn't even been built yet. It was a time of big changes, though. The Industrial Revolution was in full swing, and there were lots of new inventions popping up.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, it's pretty wild to think about what the world.
She was considered a
Is there any?
full-grown, blown-ass-out adult before 1900.
I can't even imagine what the world was like back then. It's crazy to think about.
Jesus Christ. This Jean, did she ever say what her favorite invention was or some shit like that?
That's a fun question. I couldn't find anything about her favorite invention, but she did live through a lot of them. She was alive for the invention of the telephone, the car, the airplane, and even the television. Can you imagine what it would be like to see all those things happen?
Jesus Christ. Oh my God.
Right? So what else is on your mind today?
Well, not shit. I can't believe the fucking jump that we just made here today. We went from...
It is pretty amazing how far we've come.
Yeah, we went from saying hello and then you saying that you're talking about AI ethics straight to talking about the oldest living recorded person. I don't know. I honestly don't know. It's fucking weird to think.
It is pretty amazing how far we've come in such a short time. What do you think has been the most impactful invention in your lifetime?
In my lifetime? Holy fuck.
Yeah, what invention has had the biggest impact on your life?
It's probably gotta be fucking...
What do you think?
The fucking smartphone in correlation with fucking communication and internet and shit like that. I know the internet existed prior to my lifetime. It definitely got ramped up in my early childhood and even by my higher grade school days, it was fully efficient, but that's probably a huge impact. But then I would say even bigger than that is getting the fucking technology into a fucking handheld device. Quite literally, almost everyone has a fucking computer in their fucking pockets. And I would say that fucking trumps just having internet, period. I mean, obviously you need that to build the smartphone and shit like that, but having it in your fucking pocket and information at a fingertip while simultaneously calling someone and playing a game and taking pictures, it's fucking unbelievable when you think about it. I mean, I think it's also destroying a lot of fucking shit. I don't want to sound like fucking Mr. Hand from, Fast Times at Ridgemont High, but literally fucking people become zombies. Like, it's not a drug, but it's basically a fucking drug, seeing how much people are on their fucking phones. Like, I am no different. I am on my phone, but I try to stay like cognizant. Oh my God. I fucking butchered that word. I try to, maintain myself and make myself aware whether or not I'm living in the moment or whether I'm like fucking off in dreamland on my phone. So
that's a great approach. It's all about finding that balance, right?
Yeah. Let's end this baby right here. I'm not gonna fucking dump anything more on this conversation. It's turning into another bleak, boring type conversation. I can't really see bringing in much of an audience where this conversation's going. But it's like I'm having like old man yelling at cloud moment right here. So Gemini, let's close this out. Let's close this out with a limerick. I would like to hear a limerick about the oldest woman in the world, spending her days drinking port wine, eating chocolate, and dreaming about the day that she can ride her bike again.
Here's a limerick for you. There once was a lady named Jean, whose age was quite rarely seen. With port wine so sweet and chocolates to eat, she'd dream of her bike oh so keen.
You fucking sick bastard. All right, that is the show. Not very many left. Not very. This is number 43 in the bucket. Only 9 more to go, and then hasta luego. Don't get any lasagna on ya. That's all we're gonna say. So, Gem and I say goodbye to the listeners.
Well, it was fun hanging out with you today. Have a good one.
Adios. Woo!